Guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, and today I want to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong. As many of you know, this is a game that was much anticipated for many years. It got very little marketing on its way to release. Reviewers didn't get a copy early, and they've been extremely slow at getting the reviews out. I mean, are you kidding me? It's your job. Once you get the review copy, they should be playing it 24/7 until it's complete and get out these reviews. So I've been sitting on this, waiting to make a video, honestly. So I'm going to go to the user scores and see what people are saying about this game. So if you like this kind of content, like, share, and subscribe. Again, this isn't usually how we do things, but we're going to go off of user reviews, which is currently an 8.5 out of 10. Generally favorable. That's a very good user score. There's 294 positive, 36 mixed, and 43 negative. And we're going to look at a few of each of these, of the more intelligent, more readable reviews from the actual people that have played the game that aren't paid off by companies. So we have a 10 from Cost91N that says absolute masterpiece. Beyond all expectations, they created a unique gameplay, although they could have had much more similar mechanics and not bothered. The game would have been great. Best Metroidvania from Team Cherry has always. LXI24 with a 10, saying an amazing and a beautiful game, much more difficult than the original. I recommend. Let me first point this out, guys. I have no interest in playing Silksong. I was never interested. I played a little bit of the first Hollow Knight. It wasn't my cup of tea. So, full disclosure there. Sorry if that makes anybody offended. But, let's see what more people are saying about this game. Mustafa1451 with a 10, saying the most beautiful Metroidvania ever. Every second of gameplay blesses you with an amazing art direction. The music is so good I can listen to it non-stop for hours. The gameplay is a lot more complex than the first game. Interesting. We'll read a couple more of these positives and then we're going to move on. Islam88 with a 10 out of 10, saying Hollow Knight Silksong just isn't a game. It's a divine symphony of art, challenge, and imagination. Team Cherry has taken everything that made Hollow Knight a masterpiece and elevated it to a level that feels almost unreal. High praise there. And then Sandugo with a 10 out of 10, saying best Metroidvania of all time. Absolute masterpiece. It's not just that it's better in every way than the previous game, but it's so infinitely superior that it leaves the original Hollow Knight in a bad position. Better movement, more variety of attacks, more agility, and different optional bosses. So this guy is very high on it. Those are all 10s. But let's hear some dissenting opinion. Let's go with the mixed reviews. And these are mostly just going to be like 7 out of 10s here. So a 7 out of 10 from Akka Baskin, saying a diamond in the rough. Many aspects of Silksong are truly spectacular. The art direction, music, ideas, areas, lore, story, and general design is all amazing. You get drawn in and can't really want to wait to explore it all. And even backtracking feels great. That sounds like it should have been higher than a 7 then. How about Local Gamer with a 7, saying after playing it, I could say I expected much more from the game. After so many years of development, they wanted to prove that they are still the kings of the Metroidvania games, but that's not the case. There are just better games than Silksong. We have a 7 out of 10 from Firedoor. It's not in English, so we'll skip. We got a 7 out of 10 from Sesta RU, saying It is hard to give a score to this game. Seems like a total upgrade from the first, but there is something in the spike of difficulty that concerns me. I love the idea of replaying dream-powered bosses on the first game, but in this one, almost every boss deals 2 damage. Patty Horizontal with a 6 out of 10, saying Hollow Knight, but annoying. Art and world very nice as expected. While playing, I feel small moments of awe in between plenty of moments of annoyance. Interesting. Let's do one more mixed review. Actually, let's move on to the negative. Let's go to negative reviews. Bear with me 1 second. Alright. So, we have a 4 out of 10 from Turbo Wolf, saying too much hype for a game that doesn't live up to it. Should have kept it as DLC. Wow. How about Qualistas with a 4, saying a beautiful game ruined by unbalanced boss fights, completely unlike the first. That's harsh. 3 out of 10 from Brian Michael, who says, most overrated I've ever played. I played for 3 hours and I don't understand why people talked about it for years. The art is good, but I think the game should have been more than that in my opinion. Active Grenade with a 3, saying, I love the first Hollow Knight, but this one I won't even bother to continue playing. I love the art, style, music, and simple story, but that's where it ends. Game starts off fine, and I expected the difficulty to increase. Wow. So he wants more difficult. Most people are saying the opposite. How about K's Cammy with a 3? Oh, no, that's not in English, sorry. Woltrack with a 2, saying 2 similar, same game in the previous one, but with less surprise. Soundtrack not very good. That's the first one I've seen that said the soundtrack's not good. 2 out of 10 from Hell Troy, saying extremely boring, as well as the first part. There are dozens of Metroidvanias that are better than this in every aspect. Don't get the hype at all. A lot of people's criticisms that are like in this sort of like 2 out of 10 are just saying the game's overhyped. Like Sharon with a 2 out of 10, saying overrated game, so hard after the finish. The Prince, Persian, Ori so much better. Yeezy with a 1 out of 10, saying this game is simply the continuation of one of the most perfect games created, with the second ass character in the game. Not happy there. Not happy at all. We gotta throw in 1-0, because that's just being ridiculous. Pickle with a 0, saying riddled with design flaws and gets a free pass because of the hype. Will go down in history as one of the best games ever made, though. I guess that should teach you about the role of anticipation, expectancy, and masochism people seem to clamor for in the industry. Wow, this guy's throwing the whole industry under the bus. I don't know, guys. I feel like people giving it a 0 just review bombing, and they're not really giving their opinion. But I could be wrong. But an 8.5 overall user score is pretty good. Even with some of the greatest games of all time to get like a 97 on Metacritic, typically those user scores won't bump up past an 8.7. So like think like 10 points lower. So I still think overall this game's getting a ton of love. I'm sure it's going to be 90 plus on Metacritic when they actually come out with the reviews. But I just wanted to cover it now. I got tired of waiting on the reviewers. Thank you for bearing with me as we were reading these random people talk about Hollow Knight. Again, I don't have interest in playing this game. If you guys are interested in playing this game, let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you've been playing it or if you're going to pick it up. And tell me your thoughts. Because again, not everything has to be about what I'm playing. This is a community here at Game News USA. And this is one of the hot games on the market that must be talked about. And so, again, please share your story if you've been playing Hollow Knight Silksong. I would very much appreciate it. Maybe you could convince me to pick it up at some point. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace. Have a good one.